The long dark spread across the surface like a bubbling tar, blotting out the sun. So many died on that day, lost in the inconceivable abominations that reclaimed the landscape. It has been years since humanity was forced into hiding, buried underneath the surface in a bid against total extermination. The old gods are dead, buried in our colosseums and monuments to our hubris and endurance. Our gods are silent, but the earth remains alive. Long have we survived on the fringes of annihilation, banked in all corners of the world, nestled and sheltered in our cages of iron and steel. We were once the kings of our world, but now we find ourselves dethroned in an exile. The surface is lost, reclaimed by the long dark above, and we are losing food and water by the day. Our civilization dwindles with each day we pass underground. Friendships now turn to blood feuds over crumbs of molded bread. Sons begin to kill fathers over barrels of dried meat, and the waters are going dry. There are those that dare dream of other worlds that are not bound by bone and stone, of open lands where fruit once grew, and the streams were once bright with life-giving water. As mankind has done before, they find themselves hustling for ascendance to bite into the forbidden fruit that the surface once yielded. Some say that it is foolhardy, a death sentence for those that dare brave the cavern paths above, but it is those that refuse the certain slow death of the underground world that call themselves the Luminate, the Lanterns, the Lightbringers. They seek to pave the way back to the surface in order to reclaim what was once lost, no matter what the cost.
Though the ordered governments forbid them, they continue to climb, to scale their way to the surface. But will they find salvation, or merely slaughter, regardless of the outcome? The dawn is nigh, and we will rise.
The curtain rises, and we circle in on a half-elven noble who is in his abode. It is a collection of fineries that have been assorted into various collections across the cavern. It's a pretty opulent sort of thing, light trinkets and various gold and silver elements, illuminated by the slow burn of gilded lanterns that hang from pitons in the cavern walls. A one Carric Stormwind sits at his table, a modest thing of refurbished pine, going about his day, and he hears a voice in the distance. Carric? It is an unfamiliar voice. As an associate of the Mages Guild, kind of a freelance contractor, so to speak, you're pretty familiar with all the voices in the Mages Guild.
Mm-hmm.
It is none of them. It is an outside voice.
Carric kind of looks up from his spellbook, which he had been studying. Enter.
Thank you, my lord. And you see a man cloaked in a long black cloak. Doesn't have the cowl that goes above the hood. Just, standard one. It is dirty. It is filled with the dust of the underground. Pretty common. It's hard to wash items. Water is kind of a scarce resource. And you know that this man is probably not a wizard because he doesn't know how to press ditch. Otherwise he would have cleaned himself off.
Yeah.
He actually bends the knee to you as if you're like a superior or a king or something.
Rise. There's no need for that here.
His emerald eyes fix upon you, his mud brown hair short and to like the nape of his neck. And he looks upon you. Lord Stormwind, I bring a message to you. It's an urgent message. Would you be willing to hear it?
Of course.
Thank you, my lord. He's like wringing his hands, not like in a like nefarious sense, but like he's really like nervous about the whole situation. It's kind of like it almost as if like he's meeting like a childhood hero or something. Permission to speak freely, sir.
Dispense with the formalities, please. To the point.
Yes, sir. All right. And he kind of like rubs his head. This is a message from your mother. I know.
Carric's eyes narrow a little bit at that, but he's like, please, go on.
She says that she will meet you in Viridian, and to gather your friends to make the voyage. It cannot wait. It's very important. You will find allies if you recall the statement. The dawn is nigh. We will rise. That is the totality of the
Alright,
message.
so, out of character, does that phrase mean anything to Carric?
Roll me history.
13. Get me anything?
You have heard this before. It's a passphrase of sorts, and you think it's for the more unsavory, secret places of the underworld here. I mean, you guys are already in the underworld, so to speak, but, you know, in terms of, like, the less savory groups of people. People that aren't magi, shall we say.
Alright, I'll have to keep that in mind. So, real fast,
Yep.
I want to get the phrasing down, so could you repeat that for me?
Yes. So, to answer your question, the phrase is, "The dawn is nigh, we will
Alright,
rise."
so that is all for the message then?
He kind of, like, scratches the back of his head. Master Stormwind, do you still speak with Lady Embrin?
Embrin, yes, I see her from time to time.
My mistress. She has asked for her particularly as well.
I'll be down in the mines later today. I'll see if I can find Embrin.
By your leave. And he gets up and leaves your cavern.
You seem weary from your travels. Do you have need of food or drink? Are you well?
He looks upon you with incredulous, as if like, why would you offer me a lower, a peasant such kindness? No, Master Stormwind, I'm fine. It's okay. I have places to be. Beg pardon.
Very well, on your way then.
He leaves your presence.
Alright, well, I'm going to finish my studies quickly and somewhat uncharacteristically distractedly. And I'm gonna get my belongings together and head down to the mine as soon as possible.
Embrin, you are currently going to the quarry right now. You've been kind of imparted with the task as part of your coming of age ceremony. Embrin, you just hit 18 today.
And what a day it is.
It is a day. There was a lot of ceremony, they're not really throwing flowers because, we don't have flowers in this world, but
somehow I imagine rocks are thrown. Is that terrible?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where people are just kind of celebrating. There's some dancing in your local group of people. For those of you that are just tuning in, she kind of lives in a Romani family. They were kind of traveling coal miners of sorts. So it's very festive, very upbeat, lots of singing, lots of dancing. And then your elder, ancient woman, still built very solidly, but whose back is kind of hunched over, looks at you. Embrin, I'm so proud of you. She kind of rolls up to you as you're walking on the path, because you're leaving your little local village and going to work, and she's kind of following you halfway.
But Nana, all they had to do was get here. One simply waits to age, don't they?
Nowadays, it's so hard to keep the children and let them grow to their natural extent. It's the fact that you've reached 18 is no small matter, my dear. And she pets you on the head, not condescendingly, but like a Baba would.
I try to believe her.
Before you go, there's a very important matter that I need to discuss with you, my dear.
Of course, Nana. What is it?
She turns around and looks at the rest of the village, and she makes sure that you're far enough ways away so that you're the only two within earshot. My dear, some children, when they reach this age and become adults, they are expected of certain things, and you, my dear, I expect better things from you than most of the ilk. You have the gift, do you not? She kind of turns your hand around, and you see a small glow in your palm.
Embrin is... You can see her straining to understand a bit, and not really having words to say on the matter, and so just tries to listen more.
There are secrets in this world. Secrets that only some may attain, like your friend, Mr. Carrot? She, struggles for the name.
Are you speaking of Stormwind?
Yes, yes. That good lad, he is attuned with the secrets. And it appears that you have as well. I expect good things from you, Embrin. Strong and powerful things. And I need you not to forget yourself when that power calls upon you. She kind of holds you, tight but not too tight. And, my dear, I can't expect you to spend your entire life living as we do. There will come a time when you will be called away from this place, I expect. Remember, the dawn is nigh. We will rise. And she departs from your company.
Goodbye, Nana. Embrin says this quite a time after she's actually left. Still processing everything that just happened, and kind of lets out just a heavy sigh as if to express, this is a lot. It's no different than usual, but gosh, this is a lot.
We cut into this half-orc who's being carried away by two very strong individuals, and there's two other spotters, all humans, and they're pulling him into a cell. He's kicking and screaming, or doing whatever you're doing, as you get put into a locked set of iron bars that are embedded inside the cavern walls. And there's a man the size of a tall dwarf or a short human, long flowing hair, long beard, and he kind of squats over you as you get put into your cell. He waits for the rest of the keepers to walk away. Krusk, Planewalker. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson?
I know as much as you taught me, but the above, I need to see it again. I have to see it again.
We would all like to see it again, but that world is gone. I can't keep bailing you out like this. Eventually, these will catch up with you, and there's only...
You may see the above is gone, but I see it in my dreams. I'll return there. I'll walk the plains as my father did.
You will walk the plains a dead man, for as soon as you reach the surface, they will all swarm upon you. Get it through your head, Krusk. It's over. This is our life now.
Yet he stands in righteous fury and strikes his shackled hand into the wall. This is life? These caves, these stalactites, this dark, the dripping water that drives me mad. This is not life. That, as I look up, is life. The fields, the trees, the wind. There's none of that here. This is prison. I'd rather be dead than here.
He kind of physically winces when you say, I'd rather be dead than here, and he kind of turns away. Krusk, my boy, I've done what I can. He leans against the cavern wall that's perpendicular to your cell. There's only so much I can do now. The next time this happens, I can't protect you. And he kind of sucks through his teeth. How long have we known each other, Krusk?
It's been years.
Do my words not ring true in your ears? Do you not trust me?
It's not a matter of trust, it's just... Even you must feel this confinement. This wasn't how we once were. We walked the fields. We saw the trees. We were one with nature, not this.
He, parts his lips. Krusk, this command comes from above. You're going to be taking the lowlands now. You're going to be out of my jurisdiction starting tonight. May the gods watch over you, because I can't anymore.
If the gods will it, I'll live. But should they also will it, and I die in this journey, then I welcome it.
I wish you would speak better of your own life. There are people that still care about you. He actually leans in a little bit. Krusk, if you're so intent upon this journey, the one I can't save you from, at least I can give you something that might help. And he hands you a trinket. It's like a small, emblem. Looks like a triangle with a golden sun inside of it. It's carved into wood.
What manner of trinket is this?
Turn the other side.
Okay, I turn the trinket.
You see the phrase in Orcish, actually. The dawn is nigh, we will rise. Fine Dwarven script, because Orcish doesn't have its own. It's kind of like a Cyrillic family. It's part of the Dwarven written subset.
This message, what does it mean for me?
A way out, and a way to fulfill your wish if you really want it.
I clutch the pendant in my hand, and I look upward, gazing towards the above.
I'll arrange someone to come pick you up, but after that, it's out of my control. When you hit the trench, northeastern side, there should be a runoff that the barbed wire doesn't cross. After you make a break for it, it's out of my hands and in the gods.
I shut my eyes, I look down and I look at